Anyways.
Okay, but you said your favorite dish was the persimmons.
Yeah, it was like a cheese course, but it was like persimmon cheese.
Okay.
And then like this like dried.
Chad, what the heck, man?
It was almost like this dried persimmon, like cured dried persimmon that was like made into a cake. So it kind of like resembled like beef jerky, like the old school like chew beef jerky, like the cottony stuff. Yeah.
The shredded stuff.
The shredded stuff.
I used to love that when I was a kid. So I would like, have it like almost treat it like it was chew. Kind of pretend.
That's what you're supposed to. It even came in the can. You remember that?
And your lip, yeah.
Came in the can, and like you'd sit there and like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like pack it down, and then like shove some in your lip and walk around like you're cool. I don't even. I doubt
like
they even. I doubt they even make that stuff. Like they still have Big League Chew.
Oh
right?
yeah.
That was like the pouch.
Oh, I love
of, like,
that stuff
gum.
too.
Yeah.
Gosh, dude.
We're all just like teaching kids how to use tobacco at a young age. That's what it's about.
Dude, those were the days, where Camel Cash was flying.
I wouldn't be surprised if some large tobacco company owns like Big League Chew. Like this is how we get them into it.
Yeah, dude. Oh, and I want to say, when you get a chance, have you seen the documentary on Netflix on the Pepsi Jet?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
That
with like the Pepsi voice.
I can't believe they got away with that.
He sued him to get that jet.
I can't believe they got away with that. I thought that guy should have got that jet, dude.
I did too.
He should have got the Harrier, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So what do you think though about? Well, first of all, welcome to another podcast. Go with your palate.
Oh, hello.
I'm Joe. That's Chris.
I'm Chris.
Fat Mario. Okay.
AKA.
So we just ended up getting into it. All right. What the hell was I going to say? Oh, we were talking about tobacco, right? So tobacco. Yeah. I like been thinking about this. So like 10, 15 years ago, it was just like straight up. You had chewing tobacco, you had cigarettes, and you had cigars, pretty much. And it was kind of like, there was like kind of like a masculine thing about smoking. You're like sitting there.
Oh yeah, it was all up in the movies.
Yeah, like in a brick wall, and just really mysterious and whatever. And now it's like there's no tobacco. Like you rarely see cigarettes in the U.S. anymore. Everybody's smoking like these candy flavored vape things, right?
Yeah.
So, but you're like, where is our society going? Like, we went from being like this like masculine smoking, like super mysterious and cool to like, I think I just want strawberries and bananas today.
Like I've seen vaping in movies too, just
really?
recent, or in shows, and I know it sounds bad, but can you look cool vaping?
Well, you've seen the people that are doing all the tricks, right? Have you seen those?
Which trick? Oh, you mean like blowing clouds?
Yeah, they all feel like they're so badass. You could see it like on their face. Like, dude, check this out. It's like I blew a ring in between a ring, and then I put my hand in it.
Oh,
and, like,
bro!
Swirled it around, and you're like, dude.
Could you imagine if that was like James Dean back in the day? Doing that,
like,
it would have.
I'm pretty sure
your magic warlock tricks.
I'm pretty sure this is our society's way to make sure that we stop procreation.
Yeah,
it's like,
oh yeah, we're getting close. Wait, so yeah. Other than vaping, I guess what we're talking today is we're going to talk about wine and sports. There's a lot to unpack there. And
where do you want to wine and sports? Why don't we just start with sports? Like what is a sport first of all? Like at what level of activity does a thing become a sport?
Okay, so do you think it has to be physical, like a test of your physical strength and agility and endurance?
I think sport is more pertaining to physical attributes than mental.
Okay,
so chess
is not a sport?
It's not a sport. It's a game.
But the mental stamina that it takes to stay in the game.
Physical attributes to move the chess piece.
Have you seen those dudes' forearms, though? I mean, it gets all tight.
So do we agree chess is not a sport?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game.
You know somebody's going to hate on us for saying that. Let's like move up the ladder now. Is Twister a sport?
I think there should be a competition in Twister. I feel like that should be in Vegas right now. I would give it credit to that, because Twister, I mean, if it was competitive.
So you add the competitive aspect to it. So like, is being competitive in something also an attribute to a sport?
Yes.
Okay. What about
what's a sport if you don't want to win? Could you imagine? I mean, let's
it's
take
a hobby.
Let's take for example,
Like
did
golf.
Did you watch the flag football deal this year before the Super Bowl? Okay, so the whole reasoning behind that, right, was because you have all these all-star players, and they were saying that the ratings and everything were so bad because they didn't want to hurt themselves. There was no competitive aspect there.
So I got a
So
great
the games
idea.
were boring as hell, right? So what'd they do? Let's put like flags on it, and it's gonna make it.
So if they're not getting good
interesting.
ratings because they're not trying, because they don't want to get hurt in the off season,
yes.
why don't they go ahead and just make it even worse? Like, that was the worst showing of a football game I've
You
ever
watched
seen.
it.
No, I watched like part of it and I was like, this sucks. It's like they weren't really even trying anyways.
Well, there was
All right, controversial one. Golf.
Golf.
Is that a sport?
I mean, technically, it is a sport.
I don't know. I think it's like a hobby.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've played
I'm
golf
not
plenty
saying-
of times. Everybody's like, oh, it's a mental thing and it's a physical thing, and you know, you're playing against yourself, and you're like,
Golf is hard though, dude. I suck at golf. Are you? You're
I'm
not. Good
horrible
at
at golf.
Yeah.
I mean, miniature golf, I'm all right, but like golf.
So
Did you ever see the Robin Williams skit on golf?
No.
Oh, dude, it was like one of his best. He's just like, who created this game kind of thing, and he goes
Yeah.
through all of these like, you know,
Different.
it's like, you get the ball in the hole.
I would say, look, it's not my sport, but I'd give credit that it is a sport because I think there is skill to that. I mean, geez, like people, they throw out their backs.
You've seen.
All right.
You've seen John Daly, right? He's out there like smoking a cigar, wearing his like leisure suit. Like, that's not.
Look, there's some sports that are more physically.
He looks great, but
harder.
dude, he's not a physical specimen of anything. He just hits the ball well, and you really have to think, who created this game? Oh, you do this one time. It's like, no, fuck no, you do it 18 times. Like, you're running around the field. I think it was actually created to get the hell out of the house so you're not with like your wife and kids. You're like, it's a business meeting sport, I guess. That's it.
Yeah, they say that. Yeah, that the business deals are made on the golf course.
Yeah.
So if you don't golf, then
I do it all old school.
old school, yeah.
Yep. Lock yourself in a room.
Is that wait? What's the old school thing, dude? Why are you getting? You got all serious
Dude,
on me, dude.
what? You wanna-
Is old school like just like you lock them in a room?
You sit in a
and it's
room.
all mafia
You
style.
got
Are you
one-way
getting-
glass
is there just
behind
like a
you,
chair?
and you're just
Are you
sitting there. Interrogation lights.
Interrogation
Yeah.
lights, dude. Wow, it must work.
I mean, you got it. You know, you have a baseball bat in your hand. Just little subtleties like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I think the cool thing that I've been seeing a lot is how wine has been coming into sports a lot because we're obviously now working with baseball
We're
teams.
working with a couple baseball teams, but like,
Yeah.
you got to think like, you know, you always I used to associate, I should say, sports with beer. Like, that was it, right? Like,
Yeah.
you go to a football game, you're getting a beer.
Yeah.
And our culture has changed such that now people are like, oh, I feel like having some wine while I watch a game.
Yeah.
But the offerings haven't really caught up yet in most stadiums. Like, they're still going kind of bottom rung. It's like, you know, get your Woodbridge or whatever, just like your cheap, crappy, you know, wine. And
Yeah.
so, but people are looking for it. So, like, we started our pilot year was like last year, and we went with the Padres and the Rockies and the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And they all did well, but the Padres fucking crushed it.
Dude, that storefront.
Dude, they like built a
Lisa,
little
you got there.
tasting
The
room
Bell
in
Glass
there,
is beautiful.
and they would send out a whole carafe. So like, it's like, oh, do you want a whole bottle? Dude, you could buy a whole bottle, and they put it in a plastic carafe for you.
Yeah.
Bring it to your seat. Like, it crushed it. So it wasn't even a marketing exercise. It was actually like, it turned into just sales. So we signed up with 2 additional teams this year. So the Mets and the Rangers. And so expanding on it, but like, we kind of know the formula now from what the Padres did well, and now we're going forward with that. So like, it's cool though, but just to see that people are going out to games now and they're looking for a better option.
Yeah.
And then you have all the concessionaires, the people that like manage all of the food and drinks and whatever else, and they see it and like you got to think it's not about like, you know, wow, we increased our revenue by 10%. Like that'd be huge. But if they're like 1% or 2% on concessions that they increase because of a change like that 1 or 2% is big dollars. And they're like, I mean, it's like the restaurant business, right? You're pinching pennies, like you're making money off of pennies. And I think that's it. So it's like just showing them the success and showing them that the consumer is getting what they want. It was awesome. It's great.
Yeah, and it's good to know that you don't have to pay high prices for just crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you're buying,
I mean,
like,
you know that you're gonna be spending more money anyways, but at least you can be enjoying it rather than, you know, having some cheap wine. Or when I say cheap wine, I'm just saying that.
But think of it like if you bought like a little 187 like single serve Chardonnay from, you know, just California appellated crappy white wine, right?
Yeah.
And,
yeah, you said it better.
And you're probably paying like $10 or $12 for that one glass at a stadium. Well, if you have the option to buy a glass for $15 or $18 that's actually like quality coming out of like an actual bottle, like you're gonna it just expands the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It makes it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is a funny thing though too. So I thought with wine pairing, I thought we could have a little fun with wine pairing with sports, because I've seen it. You know, what wine would go best with what sport? Okay, so just go with me on this.
Okay.
I think you'd be good at this. So for baseball, for instance, right? What's the best pairing of wine with baseball?
Man,
The game that you never played.
I did play baseball.
You did? You played baseball?
Yeah.
When did you play baseball?
Did up until I was like 13. I had Tony Rutherford's dad as my coach for 2 years in a row.
I played baseball too, man.
Yeah, you were on the team with the yellow jerseys. You guys
What?
sucked.
Okay, well,
Did you?
T-ball.
No, I mean, I
And
know
then-
you were on a team, but did you
Dude.
actually play?
well,
I thought you were just like the bench
I
warmer.
was killing it at T-ball. And I think like the first day. Actually, I remember like my first day of T-ball. My pop like took me right to practice. It was like, oh yeah, the dads were like, hey, go play catch with your kid, like to warm up and everything. And you know they were the softer balls.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, my dad brought his own ball and like didn't tell me. And it was like an old school dirty ball. I don't even know where it came from. Probably that he kept with him forever, that he caught one day like at a baseball game when he was a kid. So this is an old ball. This is probably like, got lead in it. And anyways, first throw, dude, he throws me and pegs me in the mouth. Bust my lip open, I'm bleeding, and I had to go home. Like that was like my first show. I was just like,
Wow,
dude, I'm gonna
that's-
be killing it this year.
That's impressive.
All you kids, don't worry about me. I'll be back.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
and my dad was there. Like because he like basically slept in aviators, and he was just like, get up. Because I was down on the ground.
Oh yeah. The crying. He's
It
like,
was a
don't
hard
embarrass
throw.
me.
I was,
Don't
I was like, Dad, that was like 87. You threw me at 87. Yeah, so that was my memories of it. But anyways, okay, baseball up until 13. My dad actually became a coach.
Oh.
And that was like worse. Have your dad as a coach?
Yeah.
I mean, like mostly for me, because I grew up as an underdog. I would say small kid and stuff like that. So we had actually, who was on? I played with was TJ.
Oh,
who
yeah.
was like basically like an all-star.
Yeah. He was always crushing it.
He was born that way,
Yeah.
right? And he would like hit home runs and everything. And my dad would just be out there. He's like, yeah, DJ. And like, he's like, go home. And like, he would like slide into home. He just hugged TJ and I would just watch it. And it was great. That's my, it was cool, man. He was,
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
He was really good.
I wonder what he's up to now.
You guys have a moment. Thanks. No trauma.
So I retired from
Wait,
coaching.
what?
I retired from coaching.
Yeah, maybe two. A cigar.
So I retired from
A vape.
coaching a couple years ago because like it was just the dads got worse than like anybody else. The dads were horrible. Like just like even not just on the coaching level, the other dads coaching.
Yeah.
Where it was like this, they took it way too seriously. It's
I
like, dude,
wanted to hear this.
these guys, like these kids
Okay.
are like 10, 12, whatever. Like they're still having fun. You got to have structure, but like don't make this about reliving your youth. And I felt
Yeah.
like that's what they were all doing, and it was just so damn annoying. And then the parent, like a lot of the dads that were not coaches, would try to tell you how to coach,
Yeah.
and you're just like, yeah, okay, thanks. Turn around and just be like, shut the fuck up. Like, what do you, like, if you want to coach, then coach. So I got out of it. I was like, screw this, I'm done.
Did you ever have a moment where you like got into it a little bit with a dad?
I'm pretty good at subduing bad situations, so no.
That's right. Oh, you were probably just like laughing.
Yeah, it's like you just
You're
smile
like,
and just like smile and say, yeah. It's like,
Can we just go behind the dugout? There's like, I want to get you a snack at the snack bar.
and then you do
A
little,
knuckle
like,
sandwich.
little subtle things. You're like, I guess I'm not putting your kid into play. And then they get even more pissed. They're like Johnny is great at first base. Why do you have him in center
You never
field?
put my kid in.
Be like, you know what? You're right. Hey Johnny, come in. You're a bench warmer now, buddy.
Wow, you're a great coach, man. But I guess we digress.
What you got to teach it? You got to teach the dads too. All right.
Okay,
So
you
wine
have
and
experience.
baseball.
So then tell me, you got experience with baseball. So what's the wine of baseball? I mean, we already talked about working with teams. Bell Gloss is a big hit there.
Yeah, Belglass is a big hit. But if I were like thinking like what, because like it's a pretty slow sport, right?
Okay.
When you're watching
I
it, so
like
like
this. Okay.
it kind of everything it slows down.
Yeah.
So I'd go with something that you just kind of want to sip slowly, like Zinfandel. Just kind of like savor it, like you're savoring the game.
Oh, that Zinfandel. That's like one of your heart favorites right there. Yeah.
Just old school, just like baseball, just kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That works. And then football. A little hard.
It's a little more aggressive, but it is still pretty slow. You know, like the average playtime or average playtime per down is like 7 seconds or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, like each play is like it's a average very short.
I feel like you did play football. I know
Yeah.
that. But I mean the Super Bowl this year, I saw you really get into that.
I
You're
actually
really hyped up.
enjoyed the Super Bowl. I
Yeah.
didn't care about either team, but dude, that was a good game.
Yeah, that's how it started. You were like, I don't really care about this. I think you were like making food, and by the end of it, you were like yelling at the
Like
screen.
pissed at the refs. I'm like, that was a shit call. You guys are horrible.
I was like, who are you going for? You have no affinity for any of these teams.
I think I was having more fun just talking shit about the refs' calls.
I know.
because they were making
Oh,
bad
okay.
calls on everybody.
Those
Like,
were, dude, the Chiefs. That was it. I mean,
Well, the
I'm
Chiefs
sorry.
got
I don't give
fucked
a
early
shit.
on
You
by
watched
the
that
refs.
game? Yeah.
and then the Eagles got screwed at the back end of it.
But
They were all bad. I thought they were all bad calls.
Yeah, but by the time that happened, it was almost like the Chiefs to me had been getting it
The Chiefs, I think,
a raw deal.
Yeah, they were taking it hard and raw, like not even
Hard
no
and
spit,
raw.
no reach
They
around,
were taking
nothing.
it hard and raw. There's nothing. Have you noticed that? Like also, I love it when you're just like on social or whatever. They have like those videos of just it's like commentary, and it's just so sexually driven, and it's like real, like play by play. What was
really
it?
is.
When we heard some of it, it was like,
Man, sometimes it feels so good just to take a big one right on the face from a big guy like
Yeah.
that. You're like, oh my God, do you even know what you're saying?
oh, and there goes Hurts. He took it from the side. He seems to be doing that all day.
He's going to be limping for a week.
He found a hole, and he went for it.
There are some really funny ones. So football, I'd probably go with just like a classic Cabernet. Like it's got to be big and powerful, but like also not like, you know.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds right, too. Like while you're just getting all pumped up. I mean, you need something to match that intensity.
Yeah.
Because I do think, I don't know, I know people can get crazy on any other sport, but for me, I feel out of like basketball, baseball, football, like football is, you know,
The most
intense one.
Yeah. And
American football.
Yeah, people.
But
There's no.
well, maybe I
there's
shouldn't
no
say
other
it.
type of football.
Well, dude.
Are you
no,
talking?
No.
You talking
We should-
football?
No.
Football?
Actually, we should not. Don't talk smack about soccer, bro. Just that.
No.
Because, I mean, the
Would it
real
be-
football, the original football. I'm saying
The original
Don't talk shit. there's a lot of fans.
Globally,
Yeah.
globally, they can't get it to catch here in the States.
We
Dude, like,
actually, Art is one of them because I'm getting signs from him too. We're not talking. I think it's great.
I think,
dude, are you kidding me? The endurance on that, the running.
Yeah.
I mean, I give props. I was never good at soccer, dude. Like,
but I think neither was I. But I think the general American looks at soccer as the entry sport for children.
Okay,
it's like this is how you teach kids to be on a team, so they put them in soccer teams.
No, we
it hasn't caught on professionally.
What wine would go well with soccer? The greatest sport. The original football. What would
Pinot Gris? Yeah, I think Pinot Gris. It's just a.
Are you sure?
Light, quaffable. Doesn't really get you all that excited. Just my opinion. I'd go Pinot Gris. It's a mutation of Pinot Noir.
Because we have. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let me give you an example. So soccer.
Yeah. Oh God.
It's all just play by play, right? If you watch baseball, like high level baseball or football, like there is strategy involved. Like the Super Bowl was a good example of that. Well, some people didn't like the ending, where the Chiefs were marching downfield, and then they were, it was 4th and goal, I think, or whatever. Yeah, so they just kept dropping, just taking the downs, right?
Yeah. Until
finally they kicked a field goal, but they wanted to drain that clock down to almost 0. Got the field goal. That gave, they did the kickoff, and then that gave the Eagles only a couple seconds to play, and then it was just monkey ball from there. But that strategy, I was like, I mean, yeah, it kind of is boring, but if you actually look at it and think that was a great strategy, I like that part of sports. It's not just get out there and beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah,
you got to have some strategy with it. I don't see a lot of strategy with soccer.
What? I mean, okay.
Dude, you're not even a soccer fan. Why are you defending it?
Because I see the pain that gets. Have you ever seen a soccer player take a fall?
That may be the
theatrical energy.
So that's
dude,
the strategy.
I respect that.
That's the strategy. Is you have to learn how to look hurt. Just from being rubbed.
Even Art knows though too. I even got a smile from him on that one. He does. But respect. But dude,
you want a real sport is
wait,
hockey.
You were talking about earlier. The physical endurance, everything that comes along with that, agility. Dude, soccer has all of that, though. You're just running.
I'm not saying it's not a sport.
A lot of the time, right? I mean, at least, what is it, the forwards? Sorry, I mean, I don't follow soccer too much. I've been to, dude, have you been to, I've been to a soccer game in Italy. And, dude,
so that's
that stuff goes
that's a different
crazy,
level.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean.
Every other country except for,
they keep the
U.S. and Canada. Everybody else is huge into soccer.
Yeah, they keep the opposing team in a cage, and they're just going off and everything. There was firecrackers and smoke bombs and everything like that. I mean, you don't see that in our games, at a football game. It's still an open stadium with all the fans, but at least in there, they're just no, stuff goes down. People dude, there's soccer gangs. Dude, those gangs. What was it? Art Green Street Hooligans. That was actually a great movie. But anyways, I think that's it. I think that's the name.
Really? There was a good soccer movie?
There's.
I mean, it's been good football movies.
Dude, the soccer
good
gang movies are
movies.
Sick.
They're okay. Yeah, because
there are. Because you see them, dude.
Okay.
Their dedication and everything.
Green Street.
Yes, that's it. Go ahead. Can you go to images?
Let me guess. Everybody except Elijah Wood is European.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, just click on that. Look at how hard these guys. I mean,
wow,
dude,
yeah,
I mean, people died. and it's not for they're not what they're claiming is a soccer team, and then they will just meet in these tunnels, and they have bats and knives and sticks. Okay, anyways, I'm just saying.
All right, so I still stand by my recommendation of Pinot Gris. Or Pinot Grigio if you're watching it in Italy.
That did not win you over? Okay. Well.
But hockey is maybe the most intense sport.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really, that is
I know you like hockey. Wait, okay, but I want to talk about hockey, but I had these 3 sports first because I want to see how these match up. If we can bring up Wine Folly, because someone else was pairing these sports with wine. I want to see how they match up with yours.
You mean with football, baseball, and soccer?
Yeah.
Oh, great. You always got something up your sleeve. Yeah. So soccer, Pinot Gris.
In the meat.
Baseball, Zinfandel.
Yeah.
Football, Cabernet.
Yes.
All right, let's see what Wine Foley has to say.
Okay, this is baseball.
For baseball, they said Pinot Grigio or Sauv Blanc.
Yeah.
On the sweet side, try Riesling or Moscato. Okay.
Inspiration: wine on ice in one hand and a hot dog with mustard and sauerkraut in the other.
That's heresy right there. All right, let's go to football.
Okay, Miguel, let's see. Did you match?
Or yeah.
Oh wait, sorry. It
No,
was,
basketball is not a sport either.
Football.
There you go. Okay, football, bold red wines like Cabernet, Syrah, Petit Syrah, Malbec. Yeah, good. Tourega Nacional. That's a great varietal.
Okay, wait. Okay, so yeah, wait.
Ditch the chips for slow-roasted meats.
Dude, you matched on football.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, it says ditch the chips and slow-roasted meats and perfectly match.
All right, now I'm gonna guess.
It's at the bottom.
I'm gonna guess what they think soccer is. I think they're gonna go Pinot.
All right.
Pinot Noir.
Don't look though. Don't look. Okay. See how it says
Sangria or port on the rocks with lime. That might be better than Pinot Gris. Honestly, that's.
I did not.
That's like.
Oh, wait. Why does that match excellently with churros that you can drink a lot of without passing out?
What I love is like their first recommendation is sangria, and much like sangria is not real wine, soccer's not a real sport.
Look what it says. Look at up there. The title of it though, it says World Cup Football / Soccer.
There you go.
So you know, like the football's first. I'm just saying, but dude, that actually, you won on that one. That was
good. All right,
you were actually much nicer.
All right, but hockey. I'll do one last one. Hockey.
Okay, yeah.
Man, hockey. I don't know.
I got one last one, but I don't know.
No, I'm thinking it's got to be like another big red, like just a big red blend.
Okay, well I think what about the intensity of like the fights that can go down in hockey? By the way, do you watch hockey though on TV?
Yeah.
I have this thing.
I mean, not regularly, but yeah.
The games, amazing. I've been to hockey games.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
I'll keep going. But watching it on screen sometimes isn't it a little bit like, it could be a snooze.
Yeah.
I don't know. That happens to me.
It's a little bit like soccer in that way where it's so, like there's not a lot of scoring.
Yes.
And so just kind of like up and down, and then, but it is exciting because like those guys are flying and taking huge hits. Like, have you ever sat on the ice? Actually, I would say this is like one of the best things. You sit on the ice, right?
Yeah.
Like you got the
you're right up there,
the barrier
by
right
the glass.
there.
Yeah.
And like part of it is like you put your drink on the glass, and like part of it is like it's just a sacrificial drink at some point because if a guy gets slammed up against the glass, everybody in the area gets splashed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
I've never
think it's
actually
kind of fun.
had those seats.
No,
I always want to sit that close.
So I got to believe that, well, not a belief, just something I do now. I don't go to like a lot of games or a lot of like functions or whatever. So instead of going to like 10 a year, I'll be like, I'll just go to 1 a year.
Yeah.
But spend that money to do it the right way and get like the best seats. It's such a better experience.
Yeah, dude. I wanted to always have that just like to feel, because like you said, the drinks are spilling. You're feeling the actual hits. You're getting like splashed, Do you ever, do you get rowdy?
No.
You don't?
You mean like get up and yell at people?
Yeah. Well, okay, maybe not
when I'm
spectators,
watching the TV, I'll
you yell at like the hockey players. Like if they were getting in a fight there, you're seeing it, and then it's like I love that move. Where it's just like pulling the shirt over the over their head, and it's just like, oh my, it's like so degrading and great to
really
watch,
is.
not to be in.
and again, I go like soccer, you like tap them and they're oh my god. Hockey, it's
because
like,
they're so tired. They've been running all the time.
Humble you.
They've been exerting energy. It's the same thing.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay, so what do we land on for hockey?
I think a big red blend.
Big red blend.
Yeah.
Okay, and then lastly, you wanted to do women's basketball.
Women's basketball.
What?
I feel like I'm going to offend somebody.
That's why I saved it for last, because we'll just probably.
I mean, honestly, this may be a controversial thought, but I don't think a wine exists for that sport because I don't think the sport should exist.
Chardonnay it is. That sounds excellent. Excellent choice. Oaky, buttery.
It's just not fun to watch. Like, I mean, that's just my personal preference. I'm sure there's people out there that like it, but for me, no. No go.
I don't know. That made me think of like Bill Burr's Last Stand. Oh, that's funny. Okay, just having fun. One last thing I want to know is that the halftime show, Rihanna.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
I actually thought that was a really good show. Yeah.
You know she did that pregnant.
I know, and then she used it as her like pregnancy announcement. And she's got like a 9-month-old, dude. That's pretty back to back.
Dude, yeah. And I was gonna say, I mean, you got 6 kids. Like, could you tell? Did you know?
Yeah, you could tell. She was showing,
Did we need an expert?
Whatever she was wearing was like, she had the little pooch coming out.
Hey, every move, dude, it was like, I don't know, you felt that. I mean, down to facial expressions, stuff like that, you were like, whoa, okay.
That baby had a live performance at the Super Bowl before it was even born. Like, dude, kind of starting off at a different level.
That baby's gonna rock this world.
But
I mean, it's already performed at a halftime show.
I really liked the stages that came up and down and stuff, and like I thought it was a good show.
Yeah.
And she started off with "Bitch Better Have My Money."
Your favorite.
And I remember I was like, man, she's probably not even gonna sing "Bitch Better Have My Money." She starts off with it. And I'm like, oh yeah, all right,
yeah,
strong start, and good.
And the levels and everything. Anyways, I just want to give props to that because it was a pleasant experience. A surprise. I think it was great to follow up the halftime show before because I was a huge fan of the one before that.
Oh, that was with like
Dre and Snoop and Eminem and 50 Cent. Oh man, yeah.
Favorite commercial?
Favorite commercial of that?
Yeah.
You know what? I like the pop chips. I'm sorry, because I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan.
Okay.
And the pop chips one, so they basically put the pop chips in scenes from the original movie of when they're making the drugs.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, sorry. Breaking Bad, no.
You haven't seen Breaking Bad?
No, I haven't got to it.
What do you mean you haven't gotten to it? The whole world's got to it, dude. It was like one of the greatest shows from beginning to end, and the end is always important because a lot of great shows will mess that up.
Dude, it was awesome. I finally watched the dragon one. What was that called?
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. Yeah, I finally watched that during the pandemic.
What the? What's wrong with you, dude?
I got different priorities.
Dragons? You have different priorities? You're acting like you don't watch shows. I know what you're choosing different shows. That's the issue. But you're all caught up on Yellowstone.
No, I'm not. But yeah, I do like that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. You don't want to get into this right now.
Oh no, I don't. No, so actually, but no, the commercial, best commercial.
What was your favorite?
Unfortunately, I don't remember. I think it was Tubi. It was the one where like
you actually thought,
I thought, and whatever it was like for a streaming service or something, but like where it looked like everybody's TV glitched out or somebody like sat on the remote and like everybody, I can imagine like every household was like, God damn it, who hit the remote? Like for like 3 seconds and then it goes straight to the commercial. I just love that kind of fuckery. Like that was great. That was awesome. All right, let's move on.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's jump into a social media update.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, dude. You act like you hate it, but you so Joe the winemaker on TikTok. You are now above 350,000. To be exact, you're at 357.5K.
People like the bottles dipping in wax, man. I guess that's it. And it is fun actually to do like that. The 5 bottles all connected. That was ridiculous. I'm pretty embarrassed about shit like the Elvis one there. Yeah.
Can we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll play it. Don't worry.
Pretty girls walk like this.
Oh, okay. Just so you know, Joey.
Pretty girls
He
walk
is
like
strutting in a
this,
full-on
this.
Elvis gear.
All right.
I mean, this is like the
first of
real
all,
deal. Looks like it was bought in Vegas. Did you buy this in Vegas?
I bought that in Vegas.
Of course you did.
For a sales meeting that we had, and I showed up to the first night of the meeting with our team there wearing this. And what was cool about it was like, first of all, I bought that thing like, and it's a legit like Elvis costume. Like this is the kind of costume that somebody on like Fremont Street is going to wear and get pictures taken and make tips, right?
Yeah.
And so I go in and it was like a costume rental place, so that thing's heavily used. And I was like, I'm not going to bring it back, so can I just buy it? And he's like, yeah, sure. And so he had like 500 Elvis costumes. The funny thing was, is everywhere I walked, people were like, you know, like wanted a picture. What like it was, and I'm like, this is actually my outfit for the night. Like I'm not looking for tips. I'm not.
I'm sure you got tips, dude. Did you get any? Did anyone try?
I didn't get any tips, but I did.
Did people want
do
to take
some
pictures?
Yeah.
You did do pictures,
Yeah.
dude.
And one time during Christmas, I got a great Santa costume.
Yeah.
So one time during Christmas, we were going to like meet a couple guys to play poker.
Yeah.
In Napa, and so I wore my Santa costume as a joke for the poker game.
For poker.
And then we're like, okay, let's go out and get drinks. So we walk in downtown Napa, and actually, it was even worse. Like there were a lot of people wanting to take pictures, but women would throw themselves at Santa, like not knowing how old I was or anything. They were just like very handsy and all over you. And I was like, this is interesting. There must be some kind of Santa fetish in like women's minds, because I didn't get it.
I wish we.
It was fun though. I mean, I had a good time. Rachel was not happy.
I think. I wish we had some photos of the Santa costume,
Oh, I do.
like right here.
All right, what were we talking about? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, but
so,
can I say one more thing about the Elvis strut and stuff like that? I love that you're so big on education in the wine industry, and this captured me. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about how the winery.
This is what is wrong. This is what is wrong.
I learned that you can still drop it. You
The
really
phrase
drop
that I live by in every way of life is go with your palate, but it started off with wine. Because on TikTok, you're going to have a lot of sommeliers, wine buyers, and critics that are going to be telling you what you should be drinking. The problem is, that's just one single palate, and you've got your own palate, and you should harness that power. So get out there and enjoy stuff you like, whether it be White Zinfandel or $5,000 bottles of Burgundy. Go with your palate and explore the world of wine.
Well, that was just more
okay.
inspirational. But
Yeah,
like you got
that was an inspirational of Joe's motto, which I do love.
an empowering message. But like you got to think people.
Oh, yeah.
The problem with the wine industry is we don't have fun. Like you look
Yeah.
at beer, seltzers,
Yeah.
spirits. Like the way they market their products is fun. Like it's for wine, it's just like kind of dusty and old, and it's all the same stuff kind of regurgitated. And you have one group kind of like just going straight to terroir and overcomplicating everything and like being overly passionate about it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but then you have the other end that's just like very bare bones, like your run of the mill stuff where it's all based on a brand, and it's still just kind of quiet and dusty.
Yeah.
So our industry needs to do better. Like I hope people adopt this and there's more people with hundreds of thousands of followers making wine, because all you got to do is let yourself out there, have some fun, and then also do the education thing. So yeah, we have to have a balance of me doing stupid ass shit because the fucking social media team makes me, but then I've also got to do the education piece. So you think like that is not something I don't strut around and I don't know what the fuck move that was.
Well,
Anyways,
I want to say
yeah.
I thought it was a big deal that the Somm Journal
Oh yeah.
reached out about you and TikTok and wine, because here we have a very well-known magazine in the wine world, and they took notice, and I thought that was really cool, and it was like a really nice done article. It mentioned your social media team, so I think everyone should check that out.
You were one of those, yeah.
It's Sabina.
But actually,
the
other
the boss.
the thing that I thought was cool about that was that gave me an opportunity to talk to the industry.
Yeah.
Because Somm Journal is mostly like an industry publication, right? Like, Somms read it for information, wine buyers. Like, you're not going to get, consumers really to find that magazine. They're going to be more into Wine Spectator, Wine Enthusiast, that sort of thing. But producers read it to see kind of what's going on in the business. And so for that, like, it gave me an opportunity to say, like, we need more people to get into social media, because the wine business, I think, number one, people are scared. They're like, if I do something embarrassing or, offend somebody, then I'm going to get fired. And I have the joy of not wanting to fire myself. so there's that. But then, so that it's also like, point that out so that the owners, because typically, like, it's some, asshole rich guy that owns a winery, and, some fancy pants winemaker is an employee.
Yeah.
Now you got, you got this kind of like, I need to protect my job, so I'm not going to put myself out there and possibly get criticized or fired.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the issues. And so hopefully people like look at it and they're like, oh yeah, we got to loosen it up a little bit. Let them, let the ponies run, baby.
Well, I want to say this though too. What I love about you is nothing.
Aww.
But because I knew that you were gonna take this.
Good save. That was, yeah.
But I will say what I
in my eye.
respect about you is how you share the love. And there's been other wineries, and even I know that there's been other wineries that have reached out and stuff, and you've always been, hey, I'm doing this thing to draw more in. I want everyone to be having fun. I want us all to take over and really make an impact with the wine industry and social media, and take out the stuffiness and make it fun with education and entertainment.
Yeah.
So we can do something that makes someone laugh one day, then also they're learning something. Who doesn't want that?
How are we going to get the younger generation? Like, I mean, I know everybody pretty much uses some form of social media. You got the boomers using Facebook. You got the millennials using Instagram and maybe a little bit of TikTok. And then you got like Gen, whatever the crazy young ones are. Is that Z now? Are we on? What are we on?
Yeah.
Z?
Yeah.
Gen Z?
Well, yeah.
They're all like.
There's one after that, but we
like they look at Instagram like it's dusty. Like they're all on Snapchat and TikTok and like that's it. So, but yeah, so how do you communicate with them? Because our industry, the industry of wine, is actually losing. Like, we've lost volume overall, like consumption volume, 2 years in a row in this country. We're fortunately, like, moving up the ladder, but we're not expanding. The business is not expanding. We're taking share from somebody else. Like, it's not just this upward spiral. Like, if you got into the whiskey game like 5-10 years ago, you're going to sell your product because everybody is wanting whiskey, and you're like, if you got it, that's like it's a market that's growing, right? So you're able to be an easy entry. But then in wine, if it's shrinking, like you're going to have to steal share from somebody.
Yeah.
So how do we get that back on track and show people, the younger generation in particular, that wine is a part of our culture? And if we're not talking to them like this, I think we're going to keep losing ground.
I agree. And I also like that in the article I kept hearing echoed by you and Sabina was all this, it's engagement, the ability to reach so many people.
Yeah.
And also, it's free. Right?
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, pretty much. But I'm saying that...
It takes time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not of time and stuff. It definitely takes time. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we spend some...
You guys spend a lot of time.
Yeah,
you guys are
but we have fun. I mean, anytime we get together, we have fun messing around and getting ideas.
But like a couple hours every week or two, and like you guys get a shit ton of content, and the investment from the company's perspective is, the time of the social media team, any props or anything we got to buy, and then and that's really it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. Yeah,
but
you're not paying for advertisement. I mean, right now, social media, I think, is also, and they have been for a while, that there was this time that they just realized, what, 2000, probably 18, I think, around then, where, whoa, we have like over 1 billion users on Instagram. This was like from Instagram, TikTok finally noticing it. And so then it was, getting into the ads. But I feel like TikTok is still keeping it free of giving visibility to really just anybody that's really killing it, and as far as keeping on with what's trending, creating new ideas or trends for people to follow, just having fun and putting yourself out there, being a creator, and getting together is always a fun time.
What I do like about TikTok is that it was like 2 years ago, it was just like this like teens using it for dance moves and whatever, like
Exactly.
trends, right?
Yeah.
But now
we did not want any part of that at first.
no,
And you're
I did
always
not.
on top of it. You saw it coming, but when you're actually visually looking at it, and you're like, I don't know yet where we're gonna be.
Yeah, but now it's actually become like a how-to.
Yeah.
Like, it's, there's a lot of
totally. The
entertainment.
search? Oh, yeah.
But yeah, if you're like looking recipes, do it yourself, like whatever at home repairs, shit like that. Like there's a ton of stuff on there. So I think that's how they're moving up the ladder in the age ranges, because it is a very efficient way to get the information you want, to for like learning tips on whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sweet, man. Well, we're gonna continue doing the updates.
Dude, like the caviar baked
As you're
potato. Yeah.
Did you have to bring that up?
That's like straight off TikTok.
Art. Just for those that are watching, can you please bring up a caviar baked potato?
Dude, we're doing this weekend.
I hope so.
I
think that was brilliant.
So okay, while Art's getting this, so I want to say, like, I have a overstock of caviar, and this sounds ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So for Christmas, like over a year ago, Rachel bought me a subscription.
Yeah.
And we thought like, oh yeah, like once every, oh my God, that looks so good. So we were like, oh yeah, once a week we'll have like caviar just for fun. We never eat it. So like I got like, I don't know, probably 50 tins of caviar in the freezer. And it's like, well, how do we use it? Like that is a boatload of caviar on those potatoes, and I am all for it. So that's what we're making this weekend. I think it's like, it's got to be, you got to cut it, right? No, we got to talk about this, okay? We bake the potato, you cut the top off, you scoop some of it out, mix that with butter, but leave it like a little coarse, and then you do your creme fraiche. I wouldn't even do cheese on it, chives, and then just a load of caviar on the top.
All right.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think keep it simple.
Follow Joe the Winemaker on TikTok and Joe Wagner Official on Instagram.
When do we start making money off of this stuff?
Okay, so I guess let's get into horrible bosses.
Okay, horrible bosses.
You are me, dude. Come on.
Do you have the horrible bosses?
It's about brand awareness.
I'll just donate it.
Well, if you stop getting in TikTok jail, actually, you've been out for a while. You've been good. You've been on good behavior.
Why did I get in TikTok jail?
I don't know. We should get it. Well, there was the fires.
Oh, because I was doing dangerous stuff. That's right.
I mean, you were standing on a barrel that was on fire.
Is that teaching
we
people
don't
how to
promote
do dangerous stuff?
We're not telling people to do that.
No.
Yeah, you're a grown ass hairy man. You can do whatever you want.
All right, where's horrible bosses?
Let's get into it.
Are you reading this?
Do you want me to read it?
I'm whatever you want.
Okay. I like it when you read it. Because I can't read.
I know you're not very good at reading. So,
There might be a couple, because I read it before, there might be a couple spelling errors.
All right, so we're going to do horrible bosses here. Always remember to send us some good stories about your bosses, okay?
Horriblebosses@coppercane.com. Send us your stories.
Isn't it horrible dot bosses? Art? Horrible.bosses@coppercane.com.
Horrible.bosses@coppercane.com.
Yep.
Okay, we have to catch that on the next.
That's HORR.
Don't get confused. Horrible.
Somebody using the spelling.
Is this our first time? Horrible.bosses@coppercane.com, please. Okay.
Yeah, so it's spelled WHOR. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, there might be some people that don't know you. Okay, now you know he's kidding. He's kidding. Okay, what?
Okay, here we go. So, again, these are all anonymous, and we read them just to tell the stories and see maybe what we would do differently, and just to, in general, make fun of people that are bad bosses.
Yes.
All right. As for my horrible boss story, it happened when I used to work at an Adidas store nearby. Back in the year of 2018, I was working as a seasonal part-time employee at the cash register and footwear sales. In the last month, the writing on this is not great, but in the last month I worked, which was in March of 2019, my boss had me in the schedule normally. A normal schedule for me was working around 3 to 4 times a week. Midway through March, I checked my schedule because I was always on top of it to be sure. As I checked, I seen the following week I wasn't even scheduled. In my mind, I thought it was a little weird, but didn't think much of it. I figured it was just my boss trying to fit everyone in the schedule, so I ended up taking a few shifts from one of my coworkers. Later in the week, around Thursday, I come in, and it is super slow. My boss was already at work, and I just went on as a regular. Halfway through my day, my boss approached me and asks, "So, do you feel like you earned some hours to work now?" In my initial thoughts, I was like, what the hell? Then it just all clicked in my head. He took me off the schedule without even telling me anything. So from after that day, I talked to a friend of mine if they were hiring. Thankfully he was, and I applied. Got the interview and got the job. 1 week goes by, and I left Adidas due to the fact of my boss. He was just so unfair to me and only me. Other people never got confronted by him about anything, just me. I figured he just did not like me, so I felt I had to leave. So I left. I'm not quite following this story.
I think what happened here is it's kind of, and I think it's something to touch on with bosses, is it seems like to me a passive aggressive, or as a boss, you just took someone off the schedule.
Yeah.
So this is, and I see this a lot in retail, because my wife's in retail a lot too, that shifts is like a big thing, and you kind of get your new schedule. Servers can be in this world too, and you want to get your time, you want to make your money.
Yeah.
And so to me, from this story is gathering that he was just taken off the schedule. There was no communication to why, and I think in his mind, he didn't talk to his boss. He probably just thought it was just maybe a mistake. I don't know. It seems like there was some confusion there, miscommunication.
Lack of communication, I think.
Yes,
'Cause that's,
lack.
And I think that in that world, that that's one way that you just kind of slowly push somebody out. You're like, I don't want this person working here anymore.
Yeah.
So you take them off the schedule. They eventually find another role that's going to be, bringing the bacon home, and then they just fizzle out.
Yeah.
So like, if you're a bad boss and you don't actually have like the balls to sit down, or the ovaries, whatever, to sit down and have that conversation and like help somebody grow, well, you shouldn't be a boss in the first place. So obviously there was a riff here somewhere, but you're like, well, the boss should have sat down rather than just being like that, like, oh, I'm just gonna like push him out.
Yeah, and wouldn't you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in your experience, I think you believe in growth and chances and just giving people a chance to shine. And I mean that in that not only communication of letting, if someone's faltering and stuff like that, instead of doing something passive aggressive, I consider it passive aggressive, just taking someone off the schedule and not like communicating it. But also maybe figuring out if there's other things that they could excel at or be better at that they could explore and give them a chance for that. I mean, I guess in the sneaker industry, it's like
we've moved people around in like to different roles. Trying to find where they fit best. I mean, like people in finance moving over to production.
Yeah.
Because like they're just bored out of their mind in finance. I mean, you got to be you like have to have a certain mindset to be able to sit there and just look at numbers all day long. And like
I couldn't do it.
That would be a very hard job for me.
I just the hand signal of two guns to Art's head, and it blew him off. But
then
would you give me a chance in finance?
No, dude, you suck. you'd be like talking to everybody. It's like, dude, they have a job. It's like, hey, guess what I did last night? So
is that how you see?
So we moved. So we moved one person out of finance. She wanted to try production, and the skill set that she had in finance was awesome when she applied it to production, because it was like she was, had all of her ducks in a row, was very organized, and, moving into production where you're watching inventories and part of the supply chain sort of piece of it, like she excelled. So you see that, and then she was also fulfilled because she was doing something a little more active, and she was, in more of a more of like an aggressive environment rather than just punching away on a keyboard. And so I think she needed that personally. She got it, she excelled, and so that was awesome. But yeah, that's all communication, right?
Yep.
And I think it goes back to that. This boss is a horrible communicator. This boss was probably just like he was probably working the cash register. I could see he's like 17, 18 years old, and then all of a sudden like the previous manager quits, and they're like, you know how to do all this stuff, right? At Adidas, like, yeah, okay, you're the boss now, but has no skills of being a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think it's just weird to just catch someone on like in a mid shift that they actually picked up for a friend because you took them off the schedule.
Yeah.
So you see them showing up for their friends or whatever shifts that they're picking up, and then you just come up to them and you're just like,
Do you think you earned the ability to work?
You have earned the time to work for me? Are you worthy?
The guy's a dick, but also I would say that as an employee,
Yeah.
you should be comfortable like bringing it up to your boss.
Yeah.
And that's also the thing. Like, I think we try to instill that in our company, and I think everybody should. It's like, keep it open door policy.
Yeah.
Like if somebody who's working in the cellar and has been here for like 2 months, if they see something and they bring it to me, I'll actually listen to it. And just having kind of like a very flat organization, but encouraging that communication, because that's how you become better as a company.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I want to talk to you about this finance thing again. I think I should handle the money. I think I should hold it, feel it, maybe, I don't know.
Chris, do you know what a pivot table is?
It's not something you do in basketball.
Art, bring up pivot table. All right, that was good.
All right, well, hey, until next time, I think we're signing off, right?
Yeah, we're signing off.
All right.
Hey, peace.